Okay, today I want to talk about my everyday carry when I'm out Tenkara fishing. I've used a variety of different setups throughout the years, including fly fishing vests, chest packs, fanny packs, um, sling packs, and I've essentially finally settled on just using some chest packs. And I use minimal chest packs at that. I've been using the same setup for probably the last 6, maybe even 7 years, and it works well for me. It may not be the best setup for you because the things that we carry are very specifically designed and what we find to be useful for the waters that we fish, the fish that we fish, the flies that we fish, how we like to fish. But these are the things that work for me. So I wear chest packs, and I have 2 different styles of chest packs. I have a smaller chest pack, and then I have a little bit larger one. I've got 2 of these smaller ones. These are strap packs by Zimmerbilt, and I've got 2 of them, and they're both configured exactly the same way. I just have different fly boxes in them. It's small. It hangs on your neck with a lanyard. This particular lanyard doesn't have any cushioning or anything around the back of the neck, but that's fine because it's not heavy and it doesn't get in the way. I tend to wear shirts that have a collar, and this sits right here underneath the collar and stays in place and doesn't fatigue or hurt my neck. It's got a one large compartment, and in that compartment I have a small fly box, and this is pretty much all the flies that I carry with me. Also in that compartment is, I can get it out of here, a CNF design thermometer, and it also has a spring on it that allows me to capture tippet. So it's also a tippet capture device, and it works very well for me. On the back is a pocket, and in that pocket I have my lines. I use spool cards, either ones of my own design, which are these, or ones that are commercially available either through Japan or through Dragon Tail. And I carry just a few lines. I don't carry many lines. These are all number 3 lines of various lengths. And they work well for me enough that I can fish the waters that I want to fish, but don't have to carry a lot of a weight or a variety of lines. On the front is a pocket, and in there I have tippet, and I generally only use one tippet size, and that's 5.5X Trout Hunter fluorocarbon. That's pretty much all I use. Occasionally I'll go up to 4.5 if the water's really fast and I'm expecting that I'll catch a little bit bigger fish, but 5.5X works well for me, and so I've used it for many years now. And then I also have 2 other lines in the front, and these are 3.5 weight lines of just a couple different lengths. And if the wind is blowing or I'm using a much heavier fly, then I'll go ahead and switch over to that particular line. On the left side is, in a little pocket here on the side, I have one of these fly rights. That's how I hold my flies when I'm tying them onto the tippet. I use a 1620 knot, and it works really well. Sometimes I'll use a clinch knot as well. I also have a zinger on this side that has the nipper on it. On the opposite side is another pocket that I can put stuff in, but I typically don't. And then hanging off the bottom, clamped to the bottom, there's a little tag here sewn in. I have one of these mitt clamps in black, and I use it occasionally to degorge a hook, but for the most part, it just hangs here. It also has a little lanyard on it that comes with it, and when this is hanging on my chest, this lanyard is low enough that I can actually tuck it in my belt, and that way the chest pack doesn't bounce too much. This actually secures it to my belt, the front of my waders or my trousers, and it works well for that. On the mitt clamp, I have a spool that doesn't have anything on it. It's just a spare spool. This is oftentimes what I'll use to wrap up my fly line when I'm moving from place to place. And I just keep it on here. It's easy to get to, and it's convenient. A lot of times I'll use one of those snap-on line winders, but oftentimes I just go without that, and I just use the old-fashioned. This is a Mejio spool. I think this is a 50 millimeter, one of their smaller size. On the lanyard that hangs around my neck, I have another zinger, and on that zinger I have my hook release devices. This one is a catch and release, commercially available. This is the middle size, or the mid size, and that works really well for me for standard kabari. If I have a fly that it's a little bit bigger, or if it is got a larger bead on it, then I will use this one. This one is one that I bought off of Amazon, and then I heated up the end, and let's see if you can see that right there, and reformed the loop on the end so that I can put a larger fly in there. But those are the two degorgers, hook releases that I use. Like I said, I've used a lot of different setups, some really expensive ones over the years from Fish Pond and others, vests, all of that, and they work just fine. But I have found that this simple setup is pretty much all I need, all I carry when I'm out fishing. If I don't have it in here, then I typically don't need it. For many years, I carried far too much gear, and I would come back and I would look at the specific components, and I'd say, well, why have I been carrying that? I haven't used that ever, or I've only used that once. This pretty much gets me right down to all I need. So like I said, this one is what I carry in the warmer months. So late spring, summer, and then into fall, pretty much this is it. And the flies that are in here are pretty much all that I use at that time. I have a variety of them from different sizes, but most of them are wool body kabari. Most of them are June hackle, but I do have some futsus over here. I don't have many Sakasa kabari. I don't fish Sakasa kabari much anymore. They work fine, I just don't. Anyway, so that works really well for summer. For winter, I have another pack. This is, again, also Zimmer belt. This is their chest pack. But this is what I use in the winter. So you can see the size difference between the two. It'll carry a little bit more. That's why I use it in the winter, because I use different fly boxes. But pretty much I've got it configured just like my smaller warm weather chest packs. This one I put some paracord on, and then it has a neck strap that goes around my neck because it'll carry a little bit more weight. I squeezed some silicone glue on there that holds some friction against my clothes so it doesn't rotate around, and that works really well. Again, on the front, this one has 2 pockets on the front. This one here is quite large, and I carry my tippet in there. And that's all I've got in that pocket. I certainly could carry more. And then this pocket here is where I carry my lines. In the winter, I really don't carry many lines. In the winter, I'm mainly doing Euro-nymphing. And so I've got a 14-foot number 2.5 line. And this one is a tapered line. Starts out at, I think, what is it? It's 380 centimeters. So it starts out at a 3.5 weight line, and then the last 15% of the line is 3 weight line. And so it sort of tapers down, and I use that when the wind is blowing and that sort of thing. There is no pockets on the back, at least on this particular one that I bought years ago. It also doesn't have any pockets on the side. I would prefer to have a pocket here so I could set it up exactly the same way. And I'm sure I could order one, but I've got this one and I don't need to order another one. I've got a tie right on there. Here's my zinger with my nipper on there. On the opposite side, off of this little dongle, is where I've got my hook releases. These are the other sizes of catch and release. This is the large size, and this is the small. And that's when I mainly use them, is in the winter, because I'm using bead heads, or sometimes I'm using size 18, 20, 22 emergers and that sort of thing. Here, I don't have a mitt clamp on this particular one, but on this tag, I've got a black forceps that I have just in case I need it. But most of the time I can get the hooks out with this. And then this particular this particular pack has a wide strap that goes around my lower chest, upper abdomen, and it keeps it from bouncing. On the inside is a large pocket. It's got a smaller separation in there, and I currently don't have anything in that, but I'll carry some other boxes. These boxes are typically have different things in them. If I'm going to be fishing a blueing olive hatch off of a tailwater, then I've got, you know, emergers and little dries, and some little soft hackles in here. But if I'm fishing other tailwaters, particularly ones that they like the sow bug, then I'll have some bead heads. These are pretty much all tungsten. Some RS2s up here to have me covered for Beta's hatch, and then various attractor attractor searching type of nymphs. Again, I don't, you know, I've got some also that has some egg patterns and some various things. I don't carry much because I tend to catch fish just fine with the flies that I bring with me. And I for years I took way too much with me on this stream, and I've really tried not to do that. So there's my setups, both warm weather and cold weather. They work well for me. I've been really pleased. Every once in a while, I'll modify them a little bit by adding a line or subtracting a line or changing fly boxes. But for the most part, those are the things that I carry. When I'm doing my vlogs, that's what I have on around my neck, on my chest. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope this has been helpful, and we'll see you later.